We're going to begin a standing series starting with footwork. For our footwork, we're actually just going to roll the feet out using a trigger ball. Any ball that you have, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, pool ball, you're going to put it under your foot, seated. Let's begin with your dominant foot and rolling out the feet just to get into those feet, loosen up the fascia. If you have KLP or LP, you'll probably notice a little more tenderness in the medial part of the foot. If you have flat back, you're going to notice the metatarsals, maybe a little more laterally and central tight. Sway back, we're going to feel more of the lateral intrinsic muscles of the feet are going to be very tight. So just roll into those feet, getting into that fascia, loosening it up for our standing series so that we can find our balance as we move through various planes of motion. So this can be done seated or standing, whatever you'd prefer. Hear your breath, really dig in. You can push down as hard as you can tolerate, and it feels like a good stretch and release for those feet. Go ahead and switch sides. So we'll be here for a minute. I'm just going to talk you through what we're going to be doing next. After this, we're going to move over to a wall, and our arms are going to come up into a diamond shape overhead. We'll start with our dominant arm, and we're going to pull it all the way down to the side of the body and then back up to that diamond. Now, as you're doing this, I don't want the arm to move away from the wall. I want it to slide and stay imprinting along the wall. And you're going to also try to keep your upper back imprinting. So you'll stand right by the wall. Feet can be hip distance apart. Let's make our way to the wall now. And as we're working, notice the areas that are really disconnecting from the wall. So with the arms in a nice diamond, we'll begin on our dominant arm side, pulling the elbow all the way to the side of the body and then back up to that high diamond. So the arm that is not moving, is it leaving the wall or moving forward as that arm comes down? See if you can really stabilize it there, and then inhale to lift. So as that arm goes up, I want you to feel the pelvis pull down in opposition. Your torso lengthens. As the arm comes down, your inner thighs pull back towards the wall, so you're standing up nice and tall. Keep that going. It's a great way to open up the front of the shoulders and really find your upper back so that your posture can improve, especially from the upper thoracic. Notice if you're holding, hear your breath, and especially that mid and upper back. I want you to really imprint it into the wall, like you're trying to create a snow angel. You're pushing your whole upper back into the wall. Keep that going. Just another 15 seconds here. Breathe. And let's go to the non-dominant side. We'll be on the non-dominant side a little longer than the dominant side. This side's a lot harder to do correctly. There's going to be more compensations. So notice, if this feels easy, you may not be imprinting your upper back. You may be kind of allowing the chest to spray forward. And the whole point is to find the imprint. So your tailbone, your mid-back, your upper back, the back of the head, the back of the arms on the wall, the knuckles, the wrist. I often see the hands popping forward. There's a lot of tension in the hands. See if you can soften the wrists and all your fingers and get full contact. Imagine bringing the front ribs to the wall behind you, closing them off, plugging the shoulders down. Another 45 seconds here. If at any point you need to just fold your upper back forward because you're fatiguing, feel free to do that. But this is meant to build a lot of strength and even out that upper back strength. So that's why we're spending a little longer on our non-dominant side. Keep going. And this doesn't have to be done quickly. It can be a very slow tempo, inhaling as you lift slowly. And make sure the lift you're not checking out. The lift, there should still be engagement of the core and the imprint. Don't lose the imprint as you lift the arm back up. It's easier sometimes to engage as we pull down because we feel that lat that attaches under the armpit. But on the way up, I want you to also feel that pressure back. 3 more here at a nice slow tempo. And after we complete that, we're going to take our lightest loop band around our wrists, and we're going to stand by a wall, bar, or counter for safety purposes. We're going to be stepping to balance in the frontal plane. And your arms, you're going to pull out on the band, just chest height to engage the upper back here. And I just want you to step to knee flexion, the knee flexion that we did during our lower body series. So for everybody but flat back posture, you'll be stepping to knee flexion with a pointed foot. Let's step onto our dominant leg to start. Step onto the dominant leg, non-dominant leg lifts up to knee flexion, stepping to the side in the frontal plane and finding knee flexion, forward knee flexion, holding it up, pointing the toes, breathing, inhale 1. And if you have flat back, just dorsiflex your foot, exhale 1, stay here, inhale. And exhale, 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale, lowering that foot, same side, stepping to the side onto that same foot and lifting the other foot up. So you're stepping to the side, to knee flexion, finding it, hold it there, pointing the toes, inhale 1, exhale 1, dorsiflexing if you have flat back, inhale 2. Now if you have flat back and sway back, tip your tailbone back so you have a little extension in the pelvis. If you have lordosis, you can keep your pelvis tucked under, pull your abs in tight, hold it here, and let's go to the second side. So with the band around the wrist, we're pulling out to engage the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, lift your chin up a little higher, and now we'll turn around so that when we step towards that wall, bar, or counter, we can grab it if we need to with the hands. So stepping to the side again, to knee flexion on the other leg, find the balance. Again, tip your tailbone back if you have sway back or flat back, dorsiflex the foot. Point the toes if you have KLP or LP. Plug your shoulders down. Breathe. 1 more breath and repeat. Last time. Stepping to balance in the frontal plane. Finding it immediately. Knee flexion. Core tight. Proper pelvic position for your posture. Extension if you have sway back and flat back. Neutral or flexion if you have KLP or LP. Bring the head up onto the spine. Close those front ribs. Deep inhale. And long exhale. Okay, from here, let's move into some flexibility. We're going to go over to the wall for a pec major and calf stretch. What I'd like you to do is face the wall first, bringing your arm into a T, so your chest is basically on the wall. You're going to twist away from that dominant arm. And once your whole body has twisted away, you're going to step the same leg as that arm back for a calf stretch. So the arm is in a T, so it's the same height as the shoulder. You'll twist away from that arm, and then you're going to step the same leg as that arm back for a calf stretch for your gastrocnemius. So same leg as the arm on the wall back into the calf stretch. Pelvis drives forward, chin lifts up onto the spine. Pull those low abs in. Breathing here, inhale. And exhale. Good. Now, like when we were sitting in that chair for the hip flexor stretch, stay in the posture. I want your pelvis to ground down a little bit more so that you deepen into that calf stretch. And as the pelvis pulls down, I still want the pelvis to pull forward a little bit more so that you get more of a stretch as you drive that back heel to the floor. If you have hyperextension in your elbows, make sure you're softly bending the elbows so that we're getting into the fascia and not into the joints. Watch out for the chin dropping. Breathe here, inhale. And exhale, turning back to face the wall. Let's put our non-dominant arm up on the wall in a T, twisting away from it, then taking that same leg back into your calf stretch. Plug the shoulders down. So this is a 2-for-1 stretch for your pec major and your gastrocnemius. The calves are always important to stretch, and the pecs are very important posturally to stretch to improve kyphosis so that we don't have that rounding in the front of the shoulders. Another 20 seconds here. Since this is our non-dominant side, it's probably not going to need as much time. Hang in there, hear your breath. Close your eyes if you need to relax your mind for a second. You can breathe into your belly, diaphragmatic breathing. to relax the nervous system. This can be really helpful. If you find yourself falling a lot, diaphragmatic breathing can help relax the body. So doing some diaphragmatic breathing before you get up can help with the feet shuffling and losing balance. One more breath here. And good job. We're going to begin a squat series. For our squat series, you're going to need a small anti-burst ball to bring between your inner thighs and your loop band to put around your wrists. We'll be doing wall squats with the ball between the inner thighs, and we'll pull out on that band as we take the arms overhead. So with those arms overhead and our back against the wall, ball between the inner thighs, we'll sit back into that squat. In the squat, I want the arms to stay isometrically overhead, and you're pulling out on the band. You're going to squeeze in on that ball. So we're against the wall in our wall squat, ball between the inner thighs. You're inhaling, exhale, you're going to pump the inner thighs in on the ball, and then you'll inhale and exhale, squeeze in on the ball. Just like that. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in on the ball. 2, 3, 4. Arms are overhead, pulling out on that band. Everybody stand up out of that squat for a second to give yourself a little release. Inhale and exhale, sit back down into that squat. Arms are up. Try to find that imprint we found before with those wall diamonds. And exhale, squeeze in on the ball. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, exhale, squeeze in. Notice what's happening to the pelvis. Tip the pelvis towards the wall a little bit. Create a little extension. Front ribs reaching towards the back ribs. Stand up when you need to, and then sit back on your exhale. Stay down, inhale, exhale, squeeze. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, slide down. Inhale, hold it down. Exhale, squeeze. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, stand up. And one more time, exhale, sit back. And inhale, squeeze. 2, 3, 4. Good. Staying by the wall. You can lose your props, just set them to the side. We'll need them for our second set of squats in a second. But we're going to do eagle pose. It's a yoga posture. We're going to be stepping into it. I want you to face me, and you're going to pick up let's start with your right leg into knee flexion. With the right leg in knee flexion, imagine you're facing your 12 o'clock on a clock. I want you to take that knee to 3 o'clock, planting that foot down, picking the other leg up. So you're doing a quarter turn away from me. You're now profile to me. The other leg comes up into knee flexion. And I want that leg to cross over the inside leg into your eagle posture. Bringing the arms up into this position, crossing the elbow under the other elbow. So it'll be, yes. We're going to lift those elbows up as high as the shoulders. Plug the shoulders down the back, sitting into this posture, opening up the outer hip, engaging the inner thighs. Notice if you're wobbling in or out on the foot. Put equal pressure through the metatarsals, lift up through your pelvic floor, and turn back to face me. Let's repeat that. So it's our quarter turn. You can release the arms. So pick that same leg up in knee flexion, turning from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Put that foot down. Other leg comes up immediately. Find your balance in the transverse plane, and then cross and move into eagle posture. Hold it here. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3, exhale 3, turning back to face me. We'll repeat it to the second side. So now take the opposite leg up, quarter turn around. So your profile to me, pick the leg up immediately, knee flexion. Cross it over. You may need to tip your tailbone back, squeeze the inner thighs, take your focus up a little higher than eye level, elbows as high as the shoulders, shoulders plugged down. Inhale. Notice where the pressure is in the feet, even it out. Exhale. One more breath here. Inhale and turn back to face me. Last time. Quarter turn around. Transverse plane. 90% of injuries occur when we turn. We want to be able to stabilize on that unilateral balance immediately and hold. Inhale 1, breathe. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Hang in there. Exhale 2. Go into 3. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. And coming out of that, grab your ball and your band, setting up for your second set of squats. So the ball goes between the inner thighs. The band goes around your wrists. And we're going to slide down into that squat on our exhale, arms overhead. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back into that squat. Inhale, hold at the bottom. Exhale, squeeze in on the ball. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, standing up. Pelvis pulls down as you stand up, straightening the legs. Exhale, inner thighs pull you back into the squat. Full range of motion. Hold, inhale. Exhale, squeeze the ball. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, stand up. And exhale, sit back. Inhale, squeeze the ball. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, stand. Make sure the chin is not dropping every time you lower. Keep it up. And take it down. Hold. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. 2, 3, 4. And if you're doing great with this tempo or you're not feeling so much of a burn, you can also stay down for multiple breaths. So I'll leave that up to you. This is level 1, so I don't want to go too crazy, but I want you to feel work in the quadriceps and inner thighs and the lower abs. So hold it down, inhale, exhale, squeeze, 2, 3, 4, inhale, lift, and give me 2 more, take it down, squeezing in on that ball, 2, 3, 4, and the arms can just be held isometrically. You don't need to move them. Plug the shoulders down, squeeze in on the ball, 2, 3, 4, inhale, lift, and let's do one more for good measure, take it down, and we will squeeze, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to lose those props. We're going to do a little work for the wrist. What I want you to do is face your wall. You can do this with your hands on a chair or the wall. We're going to bring the knuckles against the wall so that our arms come in, our wrists come into flexion, putting pressure. So it's sometimes better if you do it down onto a chair. You'll feel a little more pressure, but you can do it on a wall. And what I want you to do is inhale, pressing the knuckles and fingers into the wall. And on your exhale, I want you to flutter the fingers, to move the fingers. On the inhale, you're going to push the tops of the hands into the wall, and exhale, flutter the fingers. Good. And if this doesn't feel like much, do it down onto a chair, putting a little more pressure. The lower it is, the more pressure you're going to feel. The more you lean into it as well. Inhale, lean in. Exhale, flutter the hands. Inhale, lean in. Exhale, flutter the fingers. Good. Make sure you're not locking out in your knees. Your gaze is up eye level. Inhale. Exhale, flutter those fingers. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, flutter. 2, 3, 4. And inhale. Exhale, flutter. 2. Baby fingers as much as the thumbs and middle fingers. Everything fluttering. Good. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale, flutter. 2, 3, 4. Great. Turn and face me. Take your arms overhead. You're going to grab your dominant wrist with your non-dominant hand. We're moving into a side bend, crossing. So whatever hand you're grabbing, I want that foot to cross behind. Pelvis will pull forward, push forward, and you're going to side bend. Opening up the hip flexors and lats here. Make sure you're bending the knees enough to not fall. Plug the shoulders down here. This is a great position to think about your pelvis being pulled towards the ground, lengthening the side body, inner thighs pulling back to ground you, abs pulling in and up. Keep breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Stay in that stretch. Inhale, plug your shoulders down, and exhale, turn the head down on the diagonal if that feels nice. Inhale and exhale. 1 more breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inner thighs pull back as you come up. Switch sides. Plug the shoulders down. Ground your pelvis down. Soft bend in the knees. Equal weight in the metatarsals. Lift the chin up. Turn the head on the diagonal if it feels nice on the neck. Try to press your pelvis forward and pull it down simultaneously so the hip flexors get a stretch. Widen the gap between the chin and the chest. Collarbone wide, shoulders down. You're doing great. Just 10 more seconds here. Breathe through it. Inhale laterally, expanding the rib cage. And exhale. Good. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Bring the body upright. Good job. Grab your foam roller and your heaviest loop band, bringing the heaviest loop band around your outer thighs. Come by a wall, bar, or counter, or hold onto your chair as if it were a bar. You're going to place the foam roller under the top of your inside leg, standing profile to that wall, bar, or chair. From here, we are going to inhale, prepare, exhale, move into that lunge. The roller will slide back. Exhale. And we inhale to stand up, pulling the pelvis down towards the floor. Exhale, inner thighs pull us back. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, inner thighs pull us back. Inhale, stand up. Keep that going. Exhale, back. Inhale, up. Bring the outside hand to your hip, making sure that it's nice and square and not hiking up. Again, inhale, exhale, back. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Slow, you can take the tempo even slower than I'm cueing if it feels too fast and your hips are going wayward. This is about pelvic stability, quadriceps strength on that front thigh, and awareness of your abs initiating the movement. We've got the stability device under the top of the back foot just to make you recruit your lower pelvic floor muscles for posture purposes and injury prevention. Go ahead and switch sides, coming to your second side. When you're ready, begin by inhaling to pull the pelvis down towards the floor and exhaling for the inner thighs to pull you back into that lunge. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Keep that going. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Keep the abs in. Focus up. Eye level or a bit higher. Collarbone wide. Chin lifted. Don't drop the chin towards the chest. Roll the shoulders onto the back. Hear your inhales and hear your exhales. 2 more here. After you complete your second one, let's go ahead and repeat the first side one more time. Setting up, outside hand to the hip, working on even hips, nice and stable and steady pelvis. I usually have to point my toes here. You can relax your foot, point your toes. You probably won't be able to dorsiflex the foot or you will lose that roller. Exhale as you go down. Inner thighs pulling you back into the lunge. Inhale as the pelvis pulls down to lift you up. The pelvic floor muscles pull in opposition up as the pelvis pulls down. This will ground you. Feel the heels as much as the heel as much as the metatarsals, your toes of that front foot. Even the weight out. 2 more. And on your next one, let's switch to the second side for our second set. Hearing your breath. Exhale out. Inhale up. Exhale out. And inhale up. Collarbone wide, roll those shoulders back. Keep your focus up a little higher than eye level. Keep the belly pulled in towards the spine. Each exhale, when you pull the inner thighs back, your pelvic floor muscles lift up against that. In opposition, those are the muscles that stop your stream of pee. They're firing to help stabilize your pelvis. At the same time, you're feeling as if I have a hold of your pelvis and I'm pulling it down. Every time you inhale, the pelvis is pulling down towards the feet, grounding you, lengthening that side body, stretching out those obliques. 2 more here. Once you've completed your second one, take this heaviest loop band off of your legs, grabbing your lightest loop band, bringing it around your forearms. From here, we're going to grab the foam roller and put it against the wall, placing our forearms on it chest height, stepping back into a plank with the legs together. Hold that plank, inhale. Forearms pull out on that band and you lift the arms up a few inches. Exhale, the serratus anterior, your shoulder blade anchor pulls them back down. Inhale, you lift them up. Exhale, you pull them down. Keep that going. Inhale, lift. exhale down. We're strengthening your shoulder blade anchor. Stay firm in that plank. Tip your tailbone back a little for some lumbar extension without compromising your abdominals and low back. Keep the abs in and the pelvic floor muscles lifting in and up. Pelvis is pulling towards the feet. Heels can be popped up. It's not about the calves stretching right now, although they will. Pelvic floor lifts up in opposition to the pelvis that's pulling down. Inner thighs pull back to whatever's behind you. Hold for 2 more breaths, inhaling to lift the arms a few inches, exhaling to pull them back down from your upper back, your shoulder blade anchor. 1 more inhale up and exhale down. Taking this loop band, setting it to the side. You'll want to do our next step to balance with active movement and flexibility for the hamstrings by a wall, bar, or counter, or a chair. Your outside arm will be out in a T. Your inside hand can graze the wall, bar, or counter for balance purposes. Take your legs and subtly externally rotate them. If you have sway back or you have kyphotic, lordotic, or lordosis, you're going to point your toes. It looks like this, plantar flexion. If you have flat back posture, please dorsiflex your feet. We're going to step forward with our inside leg, sweeping our outside leg. 2, 3, 4, pause, inhale. Again, sweep. 2, 3, 4, pause, inhale. 1 more time. Exhale and sweep. 2, 3, 4. Bring that leg in. Stepping back onto the inside leg. Repeat. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, sweep. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, sweep. 2. Keep your pelvis neutral. Abs pulled in. Pelvis pulling towards the floor. Inhale and exhale, sweep. 2, 3, 4. Go ahead and turn around. We'll step our inside leg forward, repeating inhale and exhale, sweep. Pointing the toes unless you have flat back, and then you are flexing your feet. Make sure that the abs are in, the pelvis is in a neutral position somewhere between rounding and arching. And now the feet are together. We're going to now step backwards onto that inside foot and begin our sweeps. Inhale, prepare, exhale, sweep. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, sweep. 2, 3, 4. 1 more. Inhale and exhale, sweep. 2, 3, 4. Coming over to the wall for a pec minor stretch, bringing our dominant arm into a W and twisting away from the wall. Plug the shoulders down, bend the knees softly, neutralize your pelvis. Keep your focus up a little higher than eye level. Inhale and exhale, twisting the torso away from the arm a little deeper. Inhale and exhale, twist, twist, twist. Inhale, exhale, twist, and 2 more. Inhale, exhale, twist, and last one. Inhale and exhale, twist. Switching sides, setting up on the second side, preparing with an inhale, twisting on the exhale, moving deeper into this pec minor opener with each exhale. Collarbone wide, sternum reaching inward towards the shoulder blades, closing the front ribs, allowing you to access your abs and lift up on your pelvic floor, plugging the shoulders down the spine and the shoulder blades retracting, pulling together. So from here, inhale and exhale. And 1 more breath, inhale, twisting deeper. Exhale. All right, 2 variations of our final stretch. If you have sway back or kyphotic lordotic, come to a seated position. If you have kyphotic lordotic or lordosis, come to a seated position. If you have sway back or flat back, stay standing. The standing version, you'll face the chair, bringing your leg onto the chair, sitting back, holding the top of the chair, or a wall. You can do this by a wall as well. Sway back, plantar flex your feet, pointing, flat back, dorsiflex. Kyphotic, lordotic, and lordosis, sit in the chair and point your toes and fold over the foot, smelling the foot, twisting in the direction of the foot that's lifted. The reason sway back and flat back, you are not in the seated position, is because that's going to put pressure, unnecessary pressure on your back. And since you live in pelvic flexion, we don't want to exacerbate that by doing more flexion. We want to find a way to neutralize the pelvis and even create some extension in the lumbar. Holding this stretch, breathing into the side you're on. Inhale and exhale. 2 more breaths here. Inhale And exhale, last one. Inhale, going deeper into the posture, bracing the abs to do so. Exhale, making your way out and switching sides. Final stretch in our final series of our standing series, lunging, sagittal plane work, balance work, as well as flexibility. Setting up, beginning when you're ready. Remember, sway back and flat back, tip your tailbone back, creating some lumbar extension, that arch. Lordosis and Kyphotic, Lordotic, feel free to tuck your pelvis under. Everybody brace your abs, lift up on the muscles that stop your stream of pee. Feel your pelvis being pulled down towards the floor, towards your feet. Feel your inner thighs pulling back to whatever's behind you, getting your legs right underneath you. Lift your pelvic floor muscles up. Hear your exhales and your inhales. Inhaling either through the nose or mouth, exhaling through your mouth. Collarbone wide, chin lifted. Even if you're folding forward, don't drop the chin onto the chest. We don't want to reinforce that poor neck position. Keep your chin lifted. Engage those underactive neck flexors. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale, making your way to a comfortable seat. Great job.